Good afternoon, friends, or good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. If you ordered racks from on the new website Thursday, Friday, and I think maybe even Saturday. They went out today. I think I've got maybe one or two left that'll go out tomorrow from that original wave. And I'm hard at work at the ones that are coming. Mike, you and your hard ass one, that's going to take some time to do. And I just got an order for a pink and white. So I got to get working on that one as well. So here we are doing our thing in here. And we got a bit of good news from California. California was one of those states that we worried the most about the restrictions on the coronavirus. California was the one that they said, don't expect to have sports, for 90 days or so. And it also has a direct bearing because the Cowboys have training camp in Oxnard. I don't know if they'll go to Oxnard. I can't expect. I would be surprised if they were able to go to California for training camp as well as have fans in there. If you've been to training camp before, now they what they used to have, the grandstands on the side with the fields. The players used to come out over here. They used to have the grandstands about 3-4 years ago, but now they got that wall that's there, and now those condos that are behind it. Yeah. So you're kind of scrunched in there about 10 feet on a little bit of a hill with the ropes. I just don't see being able to have people 6 and 8 feet deep in there watching practice. I could be wrong. On the other side, they have the grandstands, but that's so far away from the field. That might be a possibility that people are sitting far apart, but, it's still a couple of months away. So they're saying that beginning next week that sports can resume without fans in the stands. So that's the first step. And here's the thing, we're going through something that we have never gone through before. Okay? This is like World War II. This is us fighting literally a war. So you have to understand that things aren't going to be normal like they used to be. Hold on for a So you have to understand that we're going to have to make do with what we've got until this thing is gone forth. And I tell you, one of the games that I had wanted to go to was to go out to LA and see that new stadium and visit my daughter. But Corona's changed a lot of that. If it has to be that they end up, because as they were talking about on Colin Cowherd's show today, funny they didn't talk about the arrest, but I'll get back to that in a minute. They were saying that, what they'll do is they'll do like virtual reality crowd and pipe and sound. But if you talk to most players, or if you've ever played football and stuff, you don't really hear the crowd. You tune that out, unless you're in Seattle. Seattle, it's a little hard to. It might be the exception to the rule. But for the most part, you're not seeing individual people. You tune that out. You're concentrating on doing your job on the field. And so that's the way it kind of looks like. But did you notice that? Now, it was funny today. I sat through Undisputed all 2.5 hours of it. The whole 2.5 hour show. And it's amazing because not once did they mention any of the players that were arrested. Not one of them. None of them. No segments about the NFL needs to come down hard on these guys that, that they're public enemy number one and they're a disgrace, that they're setting a bad example. That's all the things we heard about Dak and Zeke and Dez for working out and having a get together at their house. We got people out DUI, with guns in their cars. We got people who are robbing people, okay, allegedly. We got people firing guns in apartments. Not even a blip on any of those radars. So this is where we have to start looking at this and saying, you know what? There's an agenda here. There's an agenda when it comes to coverage of the Dallas Cowboys. And you have to start realizing that you are getting played as the fan and being used for the clicks and everything else by this fake outrage that we get out there. And it's almost comical to me right now because I don't know if you've noticed the seismic shift. See, it used to be Stephen A. Smith was always talking about what can go wrong, will go wrong with the Dallas Cowboys and how much he hates the Dallas Cowboys and the fan base and stuff. But if you notice, lately, Stephen A. Smith has actually been a little bit different in his coverage because today he was talking about Dak Prescott will win a Super Bowl. And, these are things that he would never bloviate about before. He would never say something like that the Cowboys were going to win the Super Bowl with Dak Prescott. He was always on the other side of it. Now, you notice that Skip Bayless seems to be becoming more anti-Dak. He's the one who went on the thing and saying that, Jerry Jones done promised Andy Dalton that he's going to be starting games. What? When the Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott had a get together at the house, I don't recognize my quarterback. Is it your quarterback? I didn't realize that you signed the checks for the Dallas Cowboys. You're always talking about my team. I'm about sick of Skip. 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 Shannon Sharpe has been serving a whole lot of those hot L's to you, and I'm beginning to think that they're finally getting to you. But what we got to realize, like I said, is there's an agenda here to get you to click, to get you outraged about what they say. And I don't remember if you remember a couple years back, Dak and Zeke on a day off, they were at a bar and having some champagne. They were, oh my God, they were out, drinking everything. It was a Tuesday, it was a day off. And they had already done a visit at a hospital. And they made them public enemy number one and talking about how it was such a bad example. And they will go through and they'll talk about these things for hours and ad nauseum. You'll see it on Bleacher Report all over the place. I challenge you to go ahead and see more than one or two articles throughout on these other guys where there's film. There's not. So, we got some good news at least. We'll be talking about all this tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. And I'm sure that Philly 500 will be bloviating about my Cowboys and how great his Eagles are. All right. And another one bites the dust. There we go. Got to make sure I still have it. Hold up. We them boys. Hold up. We making noise. Hold up. We them boys. You know what I am here? I am a pleaser. Because, see, when you come into Jobu's, Spice Mug and Shot Glass Rack Company, you get served. No matter what you're looking for, even if it's pink. All right, guys, I will see you at 9 o'clock tonight. Be there. We got a lot to talk about. Peace.